Welcome, political science students. We are welcome to the third semester political science. As you know, this course for political science major students. This course is divided into 5 units, and unit 1 is organs of government. The instructor for this unit is Mr. G. Ramesh, Assistant Professor, St. Joseph's College for Women, Autonomous, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, India. The second chapter of this unit is Legislature, Powers and Functions. By the end of this chapter, the learner should be able to understanding the legislative authority, recognize the role of legislators, comprehend the procedural aspects of legislation, know how the legislature interacts with other branches of government, and finally analyze the influence of legislative decisions on public policy and society. Content. This unit, that is organs of government, is divided into 4 chapters, and the second chapter, legislature, powers and functions. The content of this chapter are legislature, powers and functions, lawmaking process, budgeting and appropriations, oversight and investigations, representation and constituent services, and finally conclusion. Now let's go into the lesson and look at the legislative systems, powers and functions. Legislature, powers and functions. The legislature is a body of elected officials who are responsible for making laws for a state, country or other jurisdiction. The legislative department is mainly concerned with the drafting of all principles legislation for the central government, namely bills to be introduced in parliament, ordinance to be promulgated by the president, measures to be enacted as president's acts for states under the president's role, and regulations to be made by the legislature in India. So it is a crucial component of a democratic system representing of the people and ensuring their voices are heard. Legislatures can be unicameral, means one chamber, or bicameral, it means 2 chambers, with varying structures and powers depending on the jurisdiction. The legislature plays a vital role in shaping a nation's policies, laws and future. Legislature provides a platform for debate, discussion and decision making, ensuring that power is distributed and the government remains accountable to the people. So the legislature passing laws, creating the government's budget, confirming executive appointments, ratifying treaties, investigating the executive branch, impeaching and removing members of the administration and judiciary from office, and redressing constituent grievances are just some functions of the legislature. The essential legislative functions such as declaring policy and setting standards must remain with the legislature, while delegated legislation handles subordinate tasks. Legislative powers and functions: lawmaking, budgeting, oversight. Legislatures have the power to make laws on a wide range of subjects including criminal law, civil law and taxation. Budgeting: the legislatures typically have the power to approve the budgets of the government, which determines how public funds are spent. Legislature have the power to oversee the executive branch of government and to investigate government agencies. Legislative powers and functions. Representation. Legislators represent the interests of their conscience and advocate for their needs. And debate. Legislators encourage in debate and discussion on proposed legislation, often working with other legislators to compromise and reach consensus. Legislators draft and propose legislation and they vote on bills that have been introduced by other legislators. For example, in India, in the Sikkim versus Surendra Sharma case, it was established that all laws in force in Article 37, Clause 1F includes subordinate legislation. And amendment. Legislators can propose amendments to existing legislation and can vote on amendments to bills that have been proposed by other legislators. Legislative powers and functions, one of the lawmaking process. A bill was introduced by a legislator and is assigned to a committee. Committee review. The committee holds hearings, debates, and amends the bill before sending it to the full legislature. Floor debate. The full legislature debates and votes on the bill. If the bill passes, it is sent to the other house. Executive action. The executive branch may approve or veto the bill. A veto can be overridden by the legislature. Budgeting and appropriations. Revenue. Legislatures approve revenue measures such as taxes and fees to refund government operations. Expenditures. Legislatures determine how government funds will be spent, including funding for education, healthcare, transportation, and other essential services. Appropriations. Legislatures pass appropriation bills to authorize the spending of government funds. Oversight and investigations. Hearings. Legislature hold hearings to investigate government agencies and policies. Hearings are public and witnesses are sworn in. Subpoenas. Legislature have the power to issue subpoenas to compel witness to appear at hearings or to produce documents. Reports. Legislatures issue reports with their findings after conducting investigations. The reports may include recommendations for changes in government policy. Representation and constituent services. Meeting with constituents. Legislators meet with their own constituent people to discuss their concerns and to explain their positions on various issues. Casework. Legislators and their staff assist constituents with problems they may be having with government agencies. Advocacy. Legislators advocate for their constituents' interests and work to ensure that their needs are met. Conclusion and key takeaways. The legislature plays a vital role in shaping a nation's policies, laws, and future. Legislature provides a platform for debate, discussion, and decision making, ensuring that power is distributed and the government remains accountable to the people. The legislature department is mainly concerned with the drafting of all principal legislation for the central government, namely bills to be introduced in parliament, ordinances to be promulgated by the president, measures to be enacted as president's acts for states under president's rule, and regulations to be made by the legislature. The essential legislative functions such as declaring policy and setting standards must remain with the legislature, while delegate legislation handles subordinate tasks. Here you see lawmaking, budgeting, representation, checks and balances. Legislators plays a crucial role in the lawmaking processes. They debate and vote on laws that affect the lives of citizens. Budgeting. Legislators have the power to allocate government funds, ensuring that essential services are funded. Legislators represent the interest of their conscience and act as a voice of the people. And legislature serves as a check on the power of the executive branch, ensuring that government operates within the rule of law. What have we learned? Understanding the legislative authority, recognize the role of legislators, comprehend the procedural aspects of legislation, know how the legislature interacts with other branches of government, and finally, analyze the influence of legislative decisions on public policy and society. Thank you. All the images have been copied from open sources on Google.